We are live. Yeah, we are live. There we are. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breakfast with Max. Hi, James. Welcome. So I have to mute my YouTube, and just bear with me for just a couple of actions, but I have to go here. Because. So how are you? I hope you are having a wonderful moment, time. Um, Everything is working with you, working out, going well. As always, is a pleasure. We are now, well, I should say we're already in February. Time still passes very, very fast, very fast. So it doesn't stop there. We'll keep having our experience in that way. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with that. We're here for our February transmission in just very quickly. Why do I have an echo in my... Oh, because. So quickly I'll go into channeling mode. I go out of the way and let someone come in. I already know who's coming. And we're going to have our transmission. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, right. I remember now. That doesn't work. I cannot post that directly where I want it to go. You see, it's very complicated, seriously. One really has to do many operations where one doesn't want to do many operations, but everything works in a different way. So I can post directly on Breakfast with Max on Facebook from from the podcast Buzzsprout, but from YouTube I cannot. It's the way it is, right? Social media is a very awkward and thing. Sometimes you really have to just get to accept that it's the way it is. There's little to be done, right? So what's going on? Okay. What's going on? So, hi Roxy, welcome to. Okay, let me just go out of the way now that socials are done. Yeah. And again, so I asked James to send me some questions. I have the questions here, and do not hesitate to. Oh, let me write it here. Ask your questions here using the chat. So yeah, I'm really inviting everyone to ask questions. That is very good for me because I'm getting myself into developing my skills, owning it, doing it. So please ask questions, everything you want. And the being that is coming in is going to answer that. So let me just go into channeling mode. Go. Hello. Hi, hello, hello, hello. So we need to use your eyes. Let's use the eyes as we have to monitor questions. Oh, okay. So, Druid here. I'm the Druid. I am Max's Druid version of the self. So, we are the same and not the same. We are close and we are separated, illusorily separated, because we act in different levels of reality. So it just means that we're having different experience, though we are having the same experience at the same moment because we are exactly the same being, not in this expression or right here and now. We are co-creating this moment, so we are co-creating. How can we say that? We are expressing, we are creating together, but all this gives you an idea of separation. We are not really separated. Separation is an illusion. And no matter how much you jump into the illusion, it's still an illusion. And it's still a thing that you are experiencing as a human being. But, well, that's why when we say that it's a different being that is being channeled, is just for explanation. We're one, we are the same being. Why are we saying this? Because because you are evolving. You are discovering oneness. You are discovering the vastity, the bigness, the hugeness that you really are. And it is good for you to simply dive into your vastness, into the being that you really are, into allowing that awareness to bring you into the unknown of you, the unknown of the being that you really are. Because right now, as a human being, you really know little of you. And there is so much more that you are able to do right now, not in ascending or changing your vibration and bringing you into a fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. That will not bring you more abilities. Different, easier, yeah. Not separated, absolutely, but not more skilled. Third dimension doesn't mean that you are unskilled or that you have lost anything. There are beings, species that are creating in their dimension and that do not play in separation, in forgetfulness, in I don't know what I am. So they are experiencing a very different way of creating than you are, and they have access to their abilities as in their dimension. So as you are discovering your oneness, your collective, your unity, and you're still very far for really integrating it into your functioning, but it's coming. It's always coming. For you, it's just a matter of time. But you have already done it. It's done. In the now, you have your integration, your awareness, your unity as human beings. Still, that is what you are. Even though that human being that is integrating will not be perceived the same way as you are perceived now. It's going to be a different version of the human. A human that is individuality and collective at the same moment, and in awareness, full awareness of the self, of the collective, and of themselves as creator beings. But that's evolution for you still. And you are evolving into it. You're already there, working on your remembering. So, wow, what an opening. What an opening. So, Druid. What does Druid tells you? Well, Druid tells you past. Through it tells you time gone by of magic. It tells you about the difference between fantasy world and history. Are we fantasy? Are we history? Are we still existing? Are we gone forever and ever? Obviously, we existed. We existed in your plan of reality. Today, in your own work and reality, some of you, let's say humanity, sees those beings that were in that past as something far away and that were doing stuff but not really clearly understanding what they were doing, but probably they were no doing really nothing because it's not possible. The magic that is perceived have been done back then, it's not possible to be done because you're not able to do it. And many of you are even not wondering, maybe it's just because I've never tried, I've never been told how to do it, that I'm not doing it. It's not because it's impossible, it's just that you don't know. But that's the way you work, that's the way you function. You do not want to just admit your absence of knowledge and a practice to explain why certain things are not done. And then you have a history of just working into the forgetfulness and the religions and discounting quite everyone else in history, right? All the gods that came before the one god, they were all charlatans, and then only the last one, the one God that you are celebrating right now, is the true God, the only one, right? Very funny. If back then anyone will have come to us in that era, in that time, in our space-time continuum, talking about the one God, yeah, will have gone well. You see, change. You are change. You are the expression of change, and we have left because your evolution, the evolution that you represent, well, was not our evolution. We were expressing a different way of being, of creating. We were magic. As you will say now, for us, that was not magic in the sense you gave it. No. For us, that was what we were or what we are. Our abilities were not extraordinary. We were expressing what we possessed. And so we were able to heal, we were able to travel, we were able to feed, to explore further than what you give us credit. But that is normal. If you destroy a civilization, then you have to kill it, not just By killing the people, you have to destroy the civilization by proving that civilization wrong in every aspect. That's how you complete the work. If you allow any aspect of that civilization to remain in history, then the new main religion and your new main way of being could be threatened by that knowledge, by that way of being. So you have to simply have it gone completely, and that's what we've done. But we haven't disappeared. We are not destroyed. We still exist. We do not exist in the same realm as you. We are in a, we could express as parallel version of reality, in a parallel version of Earth, or in a parallel Earth, in a parallel, whatever you want to call it. We have our version, we have our evolution, we have our expression of reality that is still there, existing, and it exists in the now, where we have gone our separate way. Like many beings that were sharing reality with humans and have left. They have taken their way somewhere else, so that they are expressing their own reality, staying, not being with you. The Fae word, the Fae, all those beings, and it's, you know, will you, how have you invented, unicorns, dragons, etc., etc.? Where do they come from? Because somehow someone had to thought those beings in order to have them in your fantasy world. Someone had to start somewhere. Why wouldn't you have started by experiencing, by co-creating reality with those beings before those beings went away? Anyway, so we express magic. We are magic. We are able to do things. However, what we do is nothing that you cannot do. We're able to do that as much as we are. Your magic ability are fully and strongly there. What is that is holding you from expressing the same quality, the same amount of magic that we did at our time? Your belief system. That's the difference between you and us, to believe. You have been taught to disbelieve anything that is magic. We were not like that. Our expression, our being, we were born in magic and we grew up in magic, and so for us that was our reality. So that was no need for us to learn magic, to believe in magic. We were magic. So that is the difference. And that is why you need to practice your magic, your skills of magic, because you don't know you have them at the beginning until you practice, and with practice you notice it works. Of course it works. Why won't it work? It works because you are as skilled as we are, as anyone is. You haven't received anything less than anyone else in creation. You have exactly everything everyone else has in creation. But you doubt, you don't believe, you discount, you are not worth it. So those things, those beliefs are injected into your creation, and so you don't know. And you need practice. You need to literally relearn to do it. Practice, practice, practice. But then, how do you practice it? What do you practice it? Because there are many sort of magic, there are many ways of doing it, and there are many results that can come from that. And so, which would you practice? Our advice will be simply to go with what is more natural to you. And natural to you means that when you go into allowing yourself into exploring, then you will give yourself the experience, the knowledge, the feeling, the attraction. I'm attracted by potions. Let me experiment with potions because I feel it. I'm attracted. It's so I love it. It comes to you. Or you may have spell work. I love working with words, putting the words one after the other and give them that mystery, that strength, that meaning, and then from that, there, the result, the magic. Or alchemy, transforming. Gold. Huh? Humans love gold. Transforming stones into gold. Can you imagine how rich will you become? And you can explore one after the other, or many all together. There are no limits in what you can do, for you really are skilled. And your skills are our skills. Because here we come to the beginning, back to the beginning of what we were saying, right? Max, through it, are we separated? Are we beings that are far, far away? Or are we close together? And the fact that we're the same being, that has meaning for you. The meaning that the being that you are is a druid, is a witch, is a marabou, is a sorcerer. You are all those things. because you are them, not in your now, as you count the fractal, but if you count you as the unity that you are, as the being that you are, with all the expression, with all the discovery that you are doing, then you are all of that right now. So what it takes to you to access to the knowledge that you have is the allowance, is the acceptance, is the change of your belief system. Don't discount the being that you are. And now we talk about different beings, one being. Oh, that's a very complicated. What the hell is with that, right? Well, there's nothing with that. You are the creator, you're God. You are that you are. And you keep being it, even in separation. Because you cannot separate in reality. You are only illusioning it. So as you are here pretending to know nothing about you, actually you are absolutely in the knowing of everything, and you absolutely remember everything except that you don't know it. So the knowledge is there, and that knowledge, who cares where it comes from? The knowledge is there, you have it. And then when you decide, let me explore magic, then you explore and you start saying, oh, let me see, let me write a spell, and you start going into your head, how do I write a spell? God of the above and God of the underworld. Oh, that's a little bit too dramatic. Let me change it. By the strength of yesterday, by the strength of tomorrow. Oh, is it better? Worse? It's different. But then you play with the words, and you can, and you will find where it will come. At the beginning, you will just go into your head and try to get something to be that thing. And then you will just stop and allow, and then you will hear it. Even though you will not be maybe able to realize that you are being listening to you, the creator, but doesn't matter. The formula, the spell will take form, and you cannot get it wrong. That's the thing that you have to start realizing about you, about the being that you are. You cannot have it wrong. Whether you start with the God of above, the God of the underworld, whether you start with the God of the left and the gods of the lean, doesn't matter. It's your expression. You will get there. And then you practice, and you practice, and you practice, and you will then discover your skills, and you will see improvements after improvements after improvements, because you're simply expressing what you are. That's why. And when you will be seeing results, then you will also start believing more and more and more, because, well, trusting is not your forte, right? Trust is something that you have to work on, and that you have to have served you. And once you have it, then you will never lose it again, and you will enforce it, make it stronger and stronger, and you will get that. And you can use whatever you want. You want to do potions, then use. You have at your disposal every sort of herbs, trees, elements. Everything is there. And if you feel compelled to use a certain element as the base of your potion, then do it. If you feel compelled to use a certain formula in your spell work, well, use it in every spell work, and then you will add whatever you need to add. At the beginning. Then when you feel more at ease and in the knowing of what you're doing, you can just amuse yourself in doing things differently, in inventing new ways. You have the ways in you, and then you have the freedom of exploring, bringing them forward. There are no limits in what you can do, except the limits that you put on yourself as human beings. But that will probably for the foreseeing time still be somehow there, right? One way or another. You will not forget your limitations, all of your limitation at once. Maybe it's gonna take 1, 2, 3 generations to bring you that forward in the expression, into a new expression. You have, remember, you come from a era where these things were still forbidden, not accepted, most still so terrible to do those. Only crazy people do those things, right? You come from that, clearly. So you are evolving from yourself from a totally skeptical and opposing background. You have chosen to discover yourself, to allow yourself to dive into your skills, into your being, into discovery, into the evolution, the ascension, and all of that. Great. So now you evolve from there. And the more you evolve from there, the less those belief systems that were given to you at the beginning will have a weight on you. Even though, obviously, at the beginning are those beginnings. But the more you let go of that, the more you forget that memory of limitation. And by forgetting, we mean the less you put weight on it. Because you will not forget in the meaning of what you give to forgetting. Bringing you to believe that you can completely forget. But what you can do is not to put weight into that memory, in using that memory as the way you create your now. That is what you have to forget. You have to let go of. When you stop linking your now to the memory It means that you have let go of those belief systems and you have a new way to relate to your reality where you allow your new knowledge, and so the energy, your energy, to flow freely. You see, that is your magic. You allow your energy freedom to flow into you, that freedom and that freedom and that energy, then you will be able to use it in creating and in your magic. But then at that moment, you will realize that your magic is not the magic that you were assigning at the beginning as, right, as that extraordinary or as that thing that you need to put so much tension and strength and creation into building and into the formula, the potion, the one, all of that. And I have to do it right, and I have to do it correctly, and I have to do it a certain way. When you free yourself from all those things and you allow your energy to be free, then you will discover a magic that is very, very much natural to you, just up there, happening with no effort whatsoever. Right now, you are still efforting yourself at different levels. Some are more skilled, some have more work to do, but your magic is there, happening. But still, you need a little bit more effort. When you get into your power, into your freedom of energy flowing into you, then you will not effort yourself anymore as much. There's an example of magic that was performed by Max. Sometimes whilst he was in vacationing in Spain, an evening, well, a night outside, full moon and clouds in the sky, so the moon was covered by the clouds, and Max was watching to the spot where the moon were supposed to be, because the light could see the light of the moon, but not the moon itself. And as he was doing that, the clouds that were hiding the moon moved away, and they simply left the spot to see the moon. There the moon was, freely there, and that magic was performed with absolute no effort. It just happened naturally. So you see, that is what we are talking about. The magic happens naturally when you allow your energy to be free, to flow freely in you with no what you call expectation, with nothing like that. You just allow it. And there you have it. Magic happens. So, and this is for you something that is common. Let's go into the questions. Maybe ask about how we can use tools to tap into and enhance those abilities. Tarot cards or reading runes, etc. Well, I think we were diving into it right now. So, how do you enhance your tools? Be in the now and detach yourself as much as you can from your belief systems, from everything that is limiting your ability to express yourself. Let that go. Allow yourself to be fully there in that moment and allow yourself to acknowledge your limitations as a human being, to acknowledge to all of that is part of this reality, of your reality. Acknowledge it. And as you acknowledge it, just let go of it. Don't bring it into it. Let go of it. So you allow in that moment to free your energy, to free your creation, you free your access to what you are. All that knowledge, all that is there. So you are freeing your connectivity with the all, with the one, with creation, with you, with the creator. So your energy will be flowing freely so that then your ability to read cards, to read whatever you want to read, whether it's runes, whether it's tarots, any other sort of cards that you have, or tea leaves, mirrors, images in mirrors, or projecting yourself anywhere, then you are freeing that energy so that you are able to connect yourself with what you're doing, and so your intuition or your reading or your expression then flows freely, and you are able to read your cards in a much secure way, in a freer way, and you will receive the information that you're seeking, because you will be listening here, your heart. You will act much, much more as one, as that expression. This is one thing. And understand, yes, thank you. Understand this. We are not saying that you have to, that the letting go of your belief systems or of your limitations, that you have to do that permanently. That's not what we're saying. It's a work that it's the work that you're doing, and it's a work that you are doing in time. Here we're talking about the moment where you want to express your abilities. Bring yourself into that creator being. In order to do that, you have to transcend in that moment your beliefs, and you can do that. Even if it's not permanent, you can focus yourself in the moment and allow that moment to be as free as possible. The moment. Don't reach farther than that. Because if you try to reach farther than that, then you are overdoing it. So you are creating a new version or a new identity of overachieving, of overdoing it. You're not really doing it, you are forcing it. But You have the choice in the moment, in recognizing, and this is important, recognizing your limitations. You know you have them, you know they're still there, you know that you are still doing your work. So don't deny that. Don't express the I'm done, I'm great. If you do that, you're losing yourself. You are pretending, you are forcing. No, acknowledge. All right, I have limitations. I recognize that I have belief system. I recognize that I'm a human being. I recognize that I have a ego. I recognize all of that. Still, I'm transcending that in this moment, and I'm allowing self that is expressing my empowerment, expressing my unity, expressing me being creator, me being God. I allow that version of me, that being, to be fully expressed in this moment. And then you will see, and that takes practice as well. And you have to practice, you know how to do it, do it. So let's see the next one. Talk about the process you go through to completely surrender and allow the channeling connection to occur. Oh, well, we can only talk about this process, Max's process, because everyone has their own process. There isn't just one process. What he does is that he allows to get into the connection, to feel the connection, and to do what we were saying before, to make the extraction of all the limitations and belief system that he has that may be then creating opposition, resistance, and he accepts to let go doubts and all of that, to forget that they are existing or that they are maybe still there. He allows just to have those transcended in the moment so that he can fully commit to connect. And the connection and these connections and the beings and all of that are always present, always there. So it's a it's like if you know about your the way telephone worked in the days. It was like, right, you had the operator that and so one was calling, they wanted to call 9952, so they took the phone and they said, oh, can you connect me to 9952? And so you had the operator that was putting the cables in the right place and creating the connection. It's something like that. So the connection is there, and so always there, and it's putting the cable in the right hole to then connect it, right? Some idea like that. And so that's how then he listens, he allows it, he connects. That's how it goes. And then he needs to feel the present, to feel the energy, to feel the being. because he still needs that validation. He's still insecure in the moment. Oh, is it really there? I'm really there. But he is. He just still need that little thing for now so that he is okay, right, we can go. Right? But the connection, the feeling, being, right, the allowance, quieting the ego, quieting the the noises of the mind, and allowing. And the connection happened because again, the connection is there all the time. And then listen and get into it. And what we've seen is that the humans, especially when they are getting into something like this that is still really not really explained, there is still a lot of fear that some human beings are expressing, even though they want to channel. They are fearful of negative beings or possession or to get it wrong, all of those things. These are all natural to you as in the way you have been taught up until now. The fear of the unknown mainly, and the fear of what you have been hearing, listening to all these years, all those conspiracy theories, all those uh, people that talk without knowing, but they are still sharing stuff, and then you listen to it, and then you get scared. You are in control of the process. No one is taking that away from you. No one can do anything to you, right? So trust you because you are leading this. If you are feeling unwell or that doesn't work, you can stop it at any moment. But you are there and in charge. Yeah, these are things that we have been noticing, that Max has been noticing recently as he has been participating into some sessions and classes that were around this with people of different levels of channeling work, a lot of fear. But that's the natural way for human beings to advance into this kind of things. So we hope that answered the question. Ask about the benefits of healing trauma. The benefit of healing trauma. What is trauma? It is something that you are holding inside of you and that is giving you pain, beliefs, tragedy, and all of those things. Whether you're conscious of it or not, it is influencing the way you function, the way you work with your creation, with your reality in the now. Working on your trauma is giving you the ability to change those things, to change you, to change yourself. Let's say you have been traumatized as a child. All of you, you are traumatized as children. Um, and then you hold it as a memory, but as you are constantly, very often, going back into remembering it, so you keep giving energy to that memory. You are not just giving the energy, you are creating it in the moment, because obviously you create in the moment. So as even if you are expressing your fractal, you're still creating. So you see, your trauma in those moments is guiding your creation. It's guiding the way you are expressing yourself. So when you stop, or when you work on your trauma and you are able to transcend your traumatism, so that then that traumatism is no longer present in your mind, in your heart, in your being, then you literally change your reality, because you do not create it in the moment. You do not create your moment in function of that memory of the traumatism. That still, it's not happening in that moment, though you are making it happening in that moment because you are holding it. And that is in total relationship with, well, with your human mind, because it's a human mind that is unable to let go of those things. You have people that have been traumatized, sexually traumatized, or physically traumatized in a early age, and that 20, 30, 40, 50 years later are still holding that memory in the now and saying, oh, I've been violated, I've been sexually abused, physically abused 50 years ago. Those people haven't had the opportunity to do any work on it. And they feel that they are still victims. So the work on your trauma allows you no longer to perceive yourself as a victim, to perceive yourself as identified as a victim, to hold that need to be that, because it becomes a drug, it becomes an addiction. You're addicted to the trauma. The trauma becomes your identity. And you spend your entire life around that event, that experience. Now you know different. So know different means that you know that you can work on your traumatism. You know that you can take the traumatism and transcend it as an experience. Take the victimization and transcend it, no longer being in the need to perceive the trauma, to be the trauma, to express the trauma. That is freedom. That is change. Because when you are expressing yourself as a human being, as a creator, around one thing and one thing only, can be many trauma, but always around traumatism, and that you keep yourself as a victim, first of all, you will be victimized again, because that is what you are expressing, so that's what you're putting out, and so that's what you get. Victim, 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 victim. And you don't allow yourself to get better, but it's because that's all you are expressing, that's all you are. So when you free yourself from that addiction, then what you are freeing is your complete way of creation. You're creating your reality. You free that. So what you're doing is that again, you're allowing your energy to flow much freely. And so your creation then becomes bigger. Bigger in what sense? In the sense that you have more options. You have more options, so you have more choices of what you explore, of what you are experiencing. You cannot do that when you are perceiving yourself as a victim, because your addiction is to keep yourself in that bubble. When you let go of that bubble, then you open up new avenues, bigger, huge avenues of creation. That is not just with trauma, that is with many aspects, all aspects of what you express. As soon as you allow your energy to be expressed freely, your ways of creating then change, because you have more choices. When you do not limit yourself with outcomes, then you allow more choices, because you allow your energy to flow freely. When you do not keep yourself as a victim, then you open up yourself with much more choices, explorations, because your energy flows freely, etc., etc., etc. Is your work as an ascender, as a explorer of yourself, discoverer of yourself, as someone that is empowering yourself. Your work is to let your energy flow freely. Freedom. Freedom is not for you, freedom as a human being to have no boundaries, to have no whatsoever, to be the king of the world. That's not the freedom. The freedom is for your energy, for your light. The physical is the result of your light, of how your light is expressed. You free your light, your physical changes into a different expression. That's why working on your trauma is beneficial for you. Because let's take a step forward now. Are you really traumatized? No. The creator is not traumatized. The creator is unconditional, and the creator is perceiving your experiences as experiences. Not as the result of it, or as the trauma, or as anything like that. You are there for the experience, and you are experiencing. And the creator only sees that. Right? So, the creator doesn't need healing in that sense. Who's in need of that? The human. Fully and completely, the human needs healing. He needs attending to the trauma. So you are attending to your humanity in order to free yourself, because the energy is free anyway. The energy of the creator cannot be limited, it cannot be anything. But the human, when the human is expressing limitations, the human makes the channel or makes the way, the energy flows into the human's creation, the human reality, smaller, so that the human feels even more disconnected, even more away from the creator. So that's where the work is done. Most of the work that you're doing is to attend to the limitations of the creator, of the human being. The creator is not limited. The human beings are limited. So you need to attend to that. That's the work you're doing. All right. So we're done. We thank you for the experience and we say goodbye to you. All right. Okay. Uh, we've done it. Thank you for the questions, James. It was very interesting. I hope that you're satisfied with the answer you received. And I will be seeing you the next moment. Bye bye. Okay, now, yes.